Well, the Florida weather has been consistently in the 90s, high humidity and constant rain, it seems like, until this week. I mean, we still got rain, but it's dropped a couple degrees, so I think we're in the low or high 80s now. So I'm feeling a little bit more motivated to start working on this thing again, whereas I was not earlier. So I've moved it over. I'm getting ready to pull off this front tire here, take off the inner fender liner, start taking a look at that globe plug wiring harness on the driver's side. I think I'll have better access from under here. We'll see how it goes. I'm not going to bore you with taking the tire off. I think we understand how to do that. So once I get in there, we'll be back. All right, we got the trim piece off, inner fender liner off. Trim piece just held on by these little snap things. You should be able to just raise them up off the snaps, but in most cases the snaps will come out, so I'm going to try to replace some of those that are weak. You can see the pattern here. And to get the inner fender liner off, I'm missing quite a few of the screws that I should have. But what you're going to need is a 5.5 mil for this one, the small ones, and then an 8 mil for the largers with the large washer. And of course the tire lugs themselves, 21 mil. Helps if you have a breaker bar. Also helps if you have a little retainer puller. This one's plastic, won't mar the paint metal. And then 1/4 inch wrench extension. So we got it off, and what I'm looking at, which I've not even taken a look at yet, to get rid of the cobwebs, I'm gonna have to reposition some of these wires. Here's the mess. It could be valve cover, which I have a feeling I might have to replace also, but I also think that we have a problem with the globe plug harness. All right, so let me clean all this up in here as best I can, and we'll run it and see what we see. Here, let me take a look underneath the front. Yeah, here's the front glow plug. You can see where the, hopefully you can see it. I don't know, my hand might be in the way. Anyway, the actual body of the receptacle, it's broken off one end, but it doesn't seem to be leaking too much. I can see a little mist around it. I might end up doing both. Manifold gasket and harness. We all know it's done. Get it over with. Ugh. This is going to be a pain in the butt to get up in there. Get these harnesses out of the way. That'd be a big help. And of course, clean up the mess. So I think for the moment, I'll get a container underneath there and some type. Spray it down really good. Let it sit overnight. Come out tomorrow and clean it by hand and start from there. We'll be back. Alright, so I cleaned it up, I ran it, and as always, can't see anywhere that it's any significant leaking. I mean, this area in the back left was the area that was most drenched in oil, old oil, and I don't see a heck of a lot of new anything going on here. So I think I'll just go ahead and stick with the plan. Replace that harness on this side for sure, because that's the one I can see it's damaged. And then go ahead and do the valve cover. Had to be coming from somewhere, since it's so slight and it's not a high pressure leak. It's just oozing after a run. Yeah, it'd have to be that. So I'll just go ahead and replace the gaskets. And of course I didn't say it, but the original reason I took the inner fender liner off was so I could get to the wiring harness, because I thought that was the only means of it leaking. But since it's valve cover gaskets, I'm gonna have to go in on the top also. Well, all I can say is I'm learning a bit as I go. So we got to take everything back off that I had off earlier. Air cleaner, degas bottle, CAC tube, and air supply, and take off that what is that, fuel injector control module. And then at least should be able to get to this side. The other side, there is some leakage underneath the valve cover gasket, but it doesn't look significant. But since they come in a set, I might look at it once I get to it. Be back soon. And I got the air cleaner off. Various tubes and wires all out of the way. Got the valve cover exposed. And I've already loosened all the nuts, bolts, etc. I found something that was very interesting, which I'll take a look at if I get this off. On the back side of the cover, in these two positions, there were no bolts, and that is exactly where it was leaking, in the rear of the valve cover area. At least that's where I think it was leaking. Overall, valve cover looks fine, no issues. I just got to clean it up. But it's always irritating. Other people touch things and, well, they just don't seem to have a care about how they put it back together, and it causes problems. So I don't know if you can see, but it was, yeah, this position and this one down here, no bolt. So let's go ahead and take this gasket off. Of course, now I gotta see if I can find those bolts online or local. I always have a problem with that. Automotive specific bolts are hard to come by sometimes. Well, there's no obvious broken part, but this is the way it was in. I think it was. Good grief. Pulled it out and I forgot. Let's take a look for a second. So that looks all straight. Back corners like that. Yep, like this. All right. So you can see where there used to be bolts in these two positions that it was missing in. And of course, they're not there now. But someone touched it for some reason, and they put the same gasket back in. Yeah, it's all one piece. It'll work. Okay, gotta get another one of those. Of course, they come in sets, I bet. So now we got, you can see the glow plug harness where it's been damaged here, and here, and here. Last one's okay. So between the top being exposed and the bottom, I should be able to have access to get those out now. So that'll be the next step, and I just might have to reserve that for tomorrow. I'm pretty dang hot and wore out on this one. Cover that turbo opening, make sure nothing gets in there. And I think that's going to be it for the moment. Alright, well, it's the next day. I was thinking overnight, why were those two bolts on the valve cover missing? So I thought, well, I'd better come out and take a look. And I don't know if you can see it, but what do you see here? Yep, one's been broken off inside the head. The other one that's down here, it's good. I used one of the old bolts, and I screwed it in a certain amount, and it went in fine. So the threads aren't messed up. It's just this one, it was broken, so they just said, okay, I'll ignore. Well, I'm pretty sure I cannot get back there to remove what's left of it. I'm looking at the head now. Of course, to get the head off, it involves removing the manifold. I don't know about this one. I'm gonna have to go in and get some information offline. It's within reach, if that's all I have to do. I don't know. Let me go sort it out, and I'll be back. All right, I just went and reviewed the head removal procedure, and no, I do not want to do that. Not unless I absolutely have to. It's extreme, and there's a good chance I'll break something else, particularly in the exhaust realm. I got to pull the turbo back off, which I just put on. So I'll pass. So I've got one bolt broken off back here. I'm going to see if I can find a right angle stubby drill and maybe find a suitable left hand drill bit, and see if I can somehow crawl my way back in there as best I can, get some pressure on that to drill into that thing, and I might get lucky. I think I can spend the money on that. I'll have to see how much it costs. Other than that, I had two bolts missing. One hole is good. So if nothing else, I'll put the valve cover back on with some Permatex in that area if I can't get this out. So we'll be back again. All right, it's been a couple days. Got some stuff in. Got the new valve cover gaskets. Got the new grommets for the bolts, and some O-rings for the crankcase ventilation tubes. I've got the wiring harness for the glow plugs, left and right. Came as a set. And picked up some new picks. I'm going to need those. Got some machine drill bits. That's going to help me hopefully drill out that that one bolt that was broken off in the head. And I already had some screw extractors. And then I've got various other specialty bits here that I'm going to try to use to drill out the plastic for the glow plug from the glow plug harness. I'm waiting on one more thing, and that's an Ingersoll Rand right hand die grinder, pneumatic. And that's what I'm going to try to use to get into those tight spaces to drill out the bolt and drill out the glow plug plugs that are broken off inside the head. It's plastic. I'm sure it'll drill real easy. It's just a matter of getting a tool in there, because I can't reach where I need to reach. So as soon as that comes in, which will hopefully be Friday, then I'll be able to start back to work. And everything else is pretty much good to go. Everything's been cleaned. Shouldn't have any problems here. Yeah. Just taking a look here for a second. Yeah, we'll be good. Anyway, that's all I've got for now.